What have we heard from the White House this weekend?
Well, Paul, we've heard surprisingly little, actually. President Trump has no press aides traveling with him. We had a lot of Twitter posts from him on Saturday, mostly about his unfounded claims about election interference, and then one or two about stimulus and how he wants larger checks. But we've heard nothing from him today, no tweets, no executive orders, and he golfed for the third day in four. So that's created a bit of a news vacuum that really is being filled by a lot of concern about what's happening with the stimulus bill. We know that Republicans do not support Trump's idea of $2,000 checks. That's actually an old Democratic idea that Republicans have rejected for months and that President Trump is now recycling. Republicans just feel that it's not targeted enough, that it would go to people whether they've lost jobs or not, and that they think that there's measures in the stimulus bill that are more targeted. So as we heard the clip at the top of the show from conservative Republican Pat Toomey. We also heard from progressive Senator Bernie Sanders. Basically, they're saying President Trump passed the bill as written, then we'll come back and we'll talk again. And they were also keen to point out that this is the Trump administration's bill in part and was negotiated with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin along with lawmakers. So you heard Toomey talk about chaos and misery and erratic behavior. And other Republicans have been even sharper. So it's really an unusual time because everything's just on hold waiting to hear something from the president.
Yeah, and in the meantime, the clock is ticking. There will be consequences. What happens if the president takes no action by Monday night?
Well, exactly. Absent any action by President Trump, Congress is likely to attempt another stopgap measure to keep the government open, but Trump would need to sign that too. And if Trump actually were to veto the stimulus bill, Congress could try to override his stimulus, but could override his veto, but so far he's just done nothing. And, there are various real-world actions that come from losing out on the stimulus bill, even for a day. It looks like Americans who would normally be, or who would be getting basically as many as 11 weeks in unemployment benefit checks, that would be cut down by a week. Consumer confidence is likely to take a hit. There's a very important eviction moratorium that's due to sunset on December 31. And basically, President Trump has been so focused on these stimulus checks, but the $900 billion bill had just an array of measures: funding for food banks, targeted grants, money for airlines, for the arts and entertainment industry, keeping the lights on at your local movie theater and helping people pay their water bill. And, that surely can't be lost on Trump, that there's a lot more to this legislation than just the stimulus checks. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the next 24 hours.